Alrighty, thank you so much, Alex. 7-Eleven on this Workforce Wednesday. If you are tech savvy, STEM smart, or just want to know a little bit more about AI in the local workforce, then you want to be paying attention next week. AI Manufacturing Week is September the 29th through October the 3rd, and events will be happening all across the state, including right here in Warner Robins. Now, you are invited to the Middle Georgia Innovation Corridor Manufacturing Expo. That's happening next Tuesday. Take a look at your screen. All the information's there for you. It's happening September the 30th. You can experience hands-on exhibits, check out breakthrough technology, and meet the minds behind some of the region's most forward-thinking industries. This is happening from 9 in the morning until noon over at the Museum of Aviation's Century of Flight hangar, of course, in Warner Robins. So joining us in studio to talk a little bit more about this event is Bob Hermann, the Executive Director of the Middle Georgia STEM Alliance. Thank you so much for joining us in studio this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, obviously, as we talk about STEM, kind of talk about the importance of kind of pushing that, especially having Robins Air Force Base and just this kind of economy that we see out here in the Central Georgia area.
Okay, so Robins Air Force Base and really the entire region is a big user of STEM talent. Almost 30% of jobs go unfilled because of the lack of good talent in the STEM fields. So my prior job, I was the director of the software engineering group at Robins Air Force Base. We would typically hire 200 to 300 engineers every year to look for the growth of the workforce. The farther you go away from Middle Georgia, the harder it is to retain that talent. So the whole idea with Robins Air Force Base and the Middle Georgia STEM Alliance is really to grow the talent in this Middle Georgia region and hopefully retain that as we go forward, building jobs at Robins Air Force Base as well as other places within the region.
Yeah, the more workers you can keep here, the better. So certainly we understand that. Now, we've also heard about some recent grants and partnerships. Talk about that and how that's helped you guys just continue to grow STEM kind of here in our area.
Sure. So all the work we do would not be possible without the partners and the grants that we've had so far. From a partnership perspective, we've got great relationships with Mercer University, with Middle Georgia State University, with the Houston County Development Authority, as well as Booz Allen has also helped us. So being able to bring those other resources in to teach students on programming languages, on engineering concepts, having programming contests has really built up the demand for those activities. Some of the grants we have, the biggest grant obviously is the Georgia Artificial Intelligence in Manufacturing Grant. We partner with Georgia Tech on that. We have 16 other partners within the state of Georgia. So a $65 million grant through the Economic Development Administration, and we have a small part of that in Middle Georgia, really focused on workforce development. We've also had great grants from Georgia Power, Flint Electric, Booz Allen, and the Community Foundation of Central Georgia. So that has allowed us to really support robotics teams throughout the area. We've supported over 70 robotics teams in the Middle Georgia area in the local school systems. So that really helps in the rural areas where they don't have the resources to do that.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing. You know, we can't have these conversations without ever talking about AI, because obviously that is growing more and more people are needing to expose themselves to that. So talk a little bit about, you know, that exposure and how they might be able to be privy of that next week at this expo. So
the expo is a great opportunity to learn about what's out there in AI, in STEM, in precision agriculture. So Tuesday, September 30th, Museum of Aviation, we're bringing in several different organizations. The Rice Innovation Center out of Atlanta is bringing a 53-foot STEM trailer there. They have robo-dogs. They have all sorts of AI activities for both students and teachers. Fort Valley State University is bringing in their mobile STEM labs. So they have one focused mainly on precision agriculture and one on STEM for students. And then we're also looking at drone technology. So lots of activities, lots of hand-on activities for students and teachers.
Yeah, anything else that you want to mention about next week's expo, just that you want students or teachers or any job seekers to know about what's going on there?
So it's just a great opportunity. It's hard to pass up if you're looking into those career fields. Just encourage you to attend. If you have a desire to start a first Lego League team, a first Tech Challenge, first robotics team, give us a call and we'll see what we can do to help.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining us in studio this morning, and thank you for joining us for this Workforce Wednesday.